Hey there, fellow adventurers. You know, out in the wild, shelter is everything. It's the difference between a good night's sleep and a night battling the elements. And when you've got your family in tow, that shelter needs to be big enough, strong enough, and reliable enough to keep everyone safe and comfortable. Today, we're putting 3 top family camping tents through their paces. The NEMO Aurora Highrise 6P, the REI Co-op Wonderland 6, and the trusty Coleman Skydome 6-person tent. We're talking space, durability, weather resistance, the lot. We'll push these tents to their limits so you know exactly what they can handle when you're out there in the thick of it. Alright, let's talk space. The NEMO Aurora Highrise 6P is like the luxury penthouse of family tents. You could practically swing a wildcat in here. With a peak height of 6.5 feet, even your tallest mate won't be ducking his head. And trust me, after a long day on the trail, being able to stand up straight inside your tent is a luxury you won't take for granted. But it's not just about height. This thing has got near vertical walls, maximizing floor space. You can spread out, get organized, and avoid tripping over everyone's gear. Now when you're talking about a tent this big, ventilation is key. You don't want to be stuck in a stuffy sauna if the weather turns. Thankfully, the Aurora Highrise has got that covered. Massive doors, huge windows, mesh panels, it's like a breath of fresh air, even when it's sweltering outside. Of course, out in the wild, you need a tent that can handle a bit of rough and tumble. The Aurora Highrise is built tough, with durable materials and a sturdy frame that can withstand some serious wind. This is a tent designed to keep you safe and secure no matter what Mother Nature throws at you. We're talking ripstop nylon, reinforced seams, and a waterproof coating. This thing is built to last. I remember once I was trekking through the Alaskan backcountry, caught in a blizzard that came out of nowhere. My shelter was the only thing between me and the full force of that storm. Having a tent you can trust, a tent like the Aurora Highrise, well, that's the difference between making it out and, well, let's just say it's essential. Next up is the REI Co-op Wonderland 6. This tent is all about comfort and convenience. Imagine, you've been trekking all day, your pack feels like it's full of rocks, and all you want is to set up camp and relax. That's where the Wonderland 6 comes in. This tent practically pitches itself. Seriously, with its hubbed pole system, even if you've got 2 left hands, you'll have this thing up in no time. And once it's up, you're greeted by a palace of comfort. Like the NEMO, the Wonderland boasts vertical walls that maximize space. But it's the little touches that set this tent apart. The massive front vestibule is like having an extra room, perfect for storing gear, sheltering from the rain, or just having a bit of breathing room. And speaking of breathing room, the Wonderland 6 doesn't skimp on ventilation. Plenty of windows and mesh panels keep the air flowing, even on warm nights. It's like sleeping in a breathable treehouse. No more waking up in a puddle of sweat, that's for sure. One time I was filming in the Amazon rainforest, and the humidity was off the charts. I'm talking air so thick you could chew it. Having a tent with good ventilation is the difference between a tolerable night's sleep and feeling like you're drowning in your own sleeping bag. The Wonderland 6, with all its clever design features, would have been right at home in that jungle. Now for our final contender, we've got the Coleman Skydome 6-person tent. This is a classic for a reason. It's affordable, reliable, and it's been a staple on family camping trips for years. There's a reason this tent is so popular, it just plain works. The Skydome design might not be as flashy as some of the others, but it gets the job done. You've got decent headroom, ample space for the whole family, and a price tag that won't make you want to camp in your living room. But don't let the affordability fool you. This tent is no slouch when it comes to weather resistance. Coleman's WeatherTech system, with its welded floors and inverted seams, keeps you dry even in the nastiest downpours. I've been in situations where a good, reliable tent like this was the only thing stopping me from being soaked to the bone. Sure, it might not have all the bells and whistles of the pricier tents, but sometimes, simplicity is best. And when you're out in the wild, you want a tent you can count on. This is a tent that will keep you dry, give you shelter, and let you focus on what matters, making memories with your loved ones. I remember one trip with my family to the Scottish Highlands. The weather was brutal, rain lashing down sideways, wind howling like a banshee. We huddled in our tent, a sturdy Coleman, and it didn't let us down. We played cards, told stories, and weathered the storm together. That's what it's all about. So there you have it, folks. 3 fantastic family camping tents, each with its own strengths. The NEMO Aurora Highrise 6P with its palatial space and top-notch ventilation is perfect for those who want the best of the best. If ease of setup and livability are your top priorities, the REI Co-op Wonderland 6 is a winner. And for those who want a reliable and affordable option that's been tried and tested, the Coleman Skydome 6-person tent will never let you down. Remember, the best tent for you depends on your individual needs and priorities. Think about where you'll be camping, how many people you'll be with, and what kind of weather you're expecting. No matter which tent you choose, make sure you get out there and enjoy the great outdoors with your family. There's nothing quite like spending quality time with loved ones under the stars. And remember, as always, stay adventurous.